Hello. I need a confirmation if you guys can hear me. Okay, cool. Your burner account. Here's the Suki cube as I try to lay everything out. All right. I have a list of things that like I need to get done to finish the game, which is a lot, obviously. But one of the things I need to do is the melee collision can go through walls, which shouldn't happen. So there's two ways that I can go about that. I was thinking either I could do a raycast from the player to the enemy, and then it checks if the raycast hits the enemy, then it takes damage. Or I could do vice versa. The collision hits the enemy, it raycasts from the enemy to the player, and if it connects, then it, does damage. But because I was thinking of also just having a raycast like all the time, but that's probably not good for performance, and I gotta start thinking about that kind of stuff. But here's also another level that I was working on, Blockout. It's gonna be like some kind of shopping mall. And I don't know if these levels are too loud or anything, but there's also a new composer that joined the server recently. Their name is Mutt, and they made a track for this level. And that stutter I gotta fix too. I think that's loud. I don't know. Collision to a raycast, yeah. Shit. That seems loud. Oh, actually, it's just loud for me, I think. Let me 1 second. Okay, yeah, I'll turn it down. I'm gonna join on PC, yeah. That's fair. Okay, I think that's better. Welcome back. Game looks smooth as hell, thanks. That's that so far. Imagine if there are impact frames. The track rocks. Yeah, I know. So Mutt sent that, and I was I was inspired to make something with a lot of enemies and a lot of pathways that you can go through and everything. And I'd played Mirror's Edge recently, and there's a level in that where you go through a mall, but it's under construction, and I thought that'd be a good place to have a level. But they also made another track that goes really hard. So I know in like the past devlogs and everything, I've been talking about stealth a little bit here and there. But the last one, I think I was saying like I'm gonna do a minimal amount of stealth, and now I'm really like I don't even know if I should bother with stealth because running around really fast with these tracks that are really intense and it's just so much more fun to me. And I actually also made Stacy faster, like just a little bit, and I think yeah, her walk is broken right now. But let's go back to the combat map. She got that jitter step. So she kind of had it there. Hello Miami type stealth, where stealth only exists because the enemies are stupid. Yeah. I mean, naturally, I compare this game a lot to Hotline Miami, and revisiting those games, HLM is Hotline Miami. Revisiting those games, it's like the enemies, a lot of the enemies just stand in one place, and even if you like shoot people around them and everything, they won't react unless you see them. Like they won't even react to sounds, you know? At least I'm pretty sure. Um, but what I've done recently in this game is I think I was testing it over here. So the enemies, they react to your sounds, but I also made it that they would react to each other's sounds. So if this guy shoots like that, the other one heard it. Because before they would just, if an enemy was shooting at you and the other enemy did not notice you, they wouldn't hear the gunshots unless they were your gunshots. So I made it that they would hear each other, and even if you kill an enemy, they don't make a sound yet, like a scream or anything, but I'm gonna have them scream, like a death scream. So I'm gonna have it that they also hear that. So the stealth is technically harder now because you make more noise and they make more noise. Imagine a level where that happens and it chains. Yeah, so one of the problems is that mall level I just showed, I had it, that's where I was testing like where they would hear each other and everything, and that's exactly what would happen. All the enemies would run to your location, so I had to make it that the sounds they made weren't as loud as the sounds you made, but they were still loud enough to be like, okay, if I shoot this guy, or if this enemy shoots me, and this other enemy's close enough, they'll hear it and then they'll come running too. Because before it would just be all the enemies would like go to your position and you literally be fighting maybe like 10 of them at a time, and I didn't want that to happen. So I think the levels that they're at right now is pretty good. But what I wanted to show here is I was thinking about the roll and how I changed it so that it went on your like the direction Stacy's legs were moving. But this is the how the roll worked before. Like it would go based on the position of your mouse, and you could control it. So you could like, you can move around Suki here, and you could do that backwards too. Although, yeah, it's inverted, so it's a little bit harder. But this way you could like roll around corners and stuff. But the problem is with this is the roll like this is really fun if you could pull off like a really cool, like you roll around this corner and then you shoot this guy and then you do a backwards roll around another corner and then you dodge a bullet or something. But the rolling like based off the leg direction feels more natural. Maybe make it a toggle. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is like there'll be a gameplay setting where you could change the roll to be like advanced or basic, and the basic one would be you roll based on your movement direction, and then the advanced would be this one. Because it is a little bit trickier to get used to, but I think it's, you know, allows for some more interesting gameplay. So I think I am just going to make that a toggle. And I was thinking about how I could possibly make it that it would be both, but I just don't think that's possible because they send you in different directions. So mainly I didn't like the roll based on mouse because it made it hard to balance rolling and attacking. Yeah. Even coming back to this one, it still feels a little bit awkward, but I think ultimately I'll just have to make it a toggle. Yeah, it's tricky. The other thing is there could be two buttons, like a dot. I don't even want to think about that really. But yeah, I also added some more debug text to these guys so I can know what they're doing. Although that should say that they're dead. So, it's a problem. And here's the level that I'm gonna do for the playtest. Game still looks goated, thank you. Did you change your profile picture, like, midstream? The rainbow debug text? Yes. It's the gay debug text. That's another bug with the enemies, or the melee ones at least, is that if you are above them and then they find your position and then you drop down, they lose your position. And I don't know if that's just how Unreal handles like the AI navigation, but they'll just stand there until something happens. I think I just killed that guy by throwing a gun, but he was behind the wall. Wow, he was running down those stairs. I remember the time when the console was by. Yeah, that's for the enemy debug. Oh shit. I have no weapons. This would never happen with Godot AI. I don't know why I said Godot. 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 Whatever. The hell? Godot, yeah. The hell? And the music fades out and you get here. You plant the bomb. And then you go to this door and it'll fade out. But there is... See this? For some reason this area is covered. I know exactly why. So before I didn't add ceilings to like these level parts, these meshes. So if you threw a weapon, it would, it could fall out of the map because it could just go up and there was no ceiling. So the face on this is inverted. But I can fix that later. Door locked to death. It's kind of interesting to see how I've changed my mind throughout like making the levels in this, because these are all just regular static meshes. But like this whole part is its own big static mesh. So like this part's a little fucked up, but I can fix it later. I'm really happy to see all the progress the game made since the first video. Yeah, me too. I mean, I wish I was further along, but I think all the other game devs know. I think it's kind of a role in game dev. Whenever you are saying you're gonna make something, it probably takes at least 3 times as long, maybe 2 times if you've been doing it for a while. But I still think I'm in good shape though for getting a good demo out for, I think June is the next fest. Add an enemy with hit scan attacks in a wide open room that completely ruins the flow of gameplay. I was thinking of that too. It's 6 for me. 6 times as long? Yeah. That's probably more realistic, actually. That's like the realest shit I've ever heard you say. And it's a little soul crushing, but sometimes I look at screenshots that I've taken, and it's like, I think I was looking at one yesterday, and it was from October, and I'm like, oh my god. October of 2024? I mean, I made a lot of progress since then, but um, I had the crouching guys from Hotline Miami that everyone hates. I forgot about those guys. You have to like bait them, right? To shoot, and then you can shoot them. Let's go to 2 real. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they added them. You've earned everything. Dogs, doors. Well, there's already doors, so too late on that, but the dogs are just pretty much really fast melee enemies, right? In Hotline Miami. I don't remember them being specifically like specialized other than that. No? Oh, you say no to the doors. The doors, the way they act right now, I think is that's how they're gonna act. They literally just move on a swivel, and if they're locked or closed, you could kick them open. And we were talking about making it so if you kick a door and there's like an enemy behind it, the enemy might ragdoll or something. But that's a lot of work. I guess that's what I'm here for, though. But the doors, yes, man. Light my fire, break on through. Soft Parade. I think LA Woman is my favorite Doors album. You can't punch the dogs. Oh, right. They kill you during dodge roll. I think the Doors lost a little bit of their sauce with like the jazzy stuff in the middle. Not necessarily like bad, but I think their blues stuff is a little bit better. Hi Simon. All right, here's the iconic main menu. This is another song that Mutt made, but what I'm gonna have is the. I think that might be really quiet. I don't know. what I'm gonna have is each time you come to the bar, there's gonna be like a random song that plays, but there's also gonna be a jukebox that you can select which song you want to play. Because you will be spending a good amount of time here. At least I plan to. Random menu track. Yeah, because there's this one and then the one you made. Right, you can't kick these kinds of doors for some reason. You can't kick. Well, I know why, because I didn't let you kick them, but I might change that. Then you come through here. This is Simon's music. I'm gonna head out. Bye, Chi. It's all the characters just watching you. What is that? Oh. Had the ability to kick the bar doors to upset the bar owner. I don't know who the owner is. I think it's Suki. Yeah, hello. Desert Doge. Make the bar door only being opened by kicking it. That's so real, man. I wish I could enter work like that. We got glass doors, so. I mean, I could, but I don't want to lose my job. I think I've also been getting better at the level design. Like, this to me looks kind of boring. Like, let's see. So, someone tell me if something like this is in already. Certain amount of damage to you. Or damage from enemies you killed. That's a very interesting, like, status buff. I like that. And for Everclear. I've never actually had Everclear. I honestly don't drink that much, which is a little ironic. I mean, it's a good thing overall. But I'll let the real alcoholics tell me what's good. Here's another common phenomenon in game dev. It's just moving your camera around like this. I haven't worked on this level in a long time, but I think this is like the first one I was laying out. Let's see. The map reminds me of Half-Life 1 for the online deathmatch. Which one? The one I was just showing? That's it for this one. The music is fucking sick though. Another Simon track. And then the post-mission cutscene things. See if this one will work. Yeah, I still need some work on it, but this is how these work. They just repeat. Oh, Chi suggested a cocktail that locks you to melee, but lets you deflect bullets with melee weapons and gives you increased damage resistance. That'd be fun too. Demo night, yeah. What the hell? Fucking dark, man. Like a nightmare level. Okay, I haven't opened this level in a while, so I don't know what happened, but this one was gonna be more stealth based, but I'm gonna forego that idea, and it's still set in a bunch of warehouses at like the dock area, so I'm gonna keep it there, but gonna make it a little bit more fast paced. The void, yes, the void level. fog is coming. Call me insane or anything, but I can definitely hear Postal Dude voice. I know. It's kind of crazy because it is my voice. The darkness is coming. It's coming for us all. It is true. But not today. Okay. So this is probably going to be a little bit embarrassing, but you can all look at my spaghetti blueprints. The shotgun shoot sound. Uh, let's see. You know you worked for Valve. That shotgun sound? Because like I said before, I just got it off of Freesound, I think. So maybe they did the same back in 2003 or whenever that game was made. Are you talking about Postal 2? And let me see if I can find a clip of the shotgun. Postal 2, all weapons. Okay. It's similar. Paranoid like an android. That is true. I was trying to think of any lyrics from that song and I can't think of any right now. Except for I may be paranoid but no android. Maybe shotguns just sound the same. I don't know. Okay, yeah. But here's my spaghetti code. So if I plug these back in, I think, and check these. Now the roll's back to the direction based. So I could very easily just make it a toggle. And there's more spaghetti. I'm sorry for what you're about to see, but this is this is probably not good. But there's a lot going on. There's, melee for different weapons. There's the camera quick focus and the pounce focus and the walk toggle, the shoot, the camera shift, the click. I don't even know what this is for. Oh, this is for the pounce. This is the camera zoom. Yeah, I gotta organize some of this better, at least. And there's nothing even over here. I don't know what's going on. Look at this. This is probably not good. All these functions. I think it would be more proper to implement weapon attack and weapon class. Yeah, the guns do that, but the melee doesn't because, or does the melee? No, it doesn't. I could move these to the melee, I guess. Or to the weapon class thing. I guess I could also move this too. This is the... God, it's ugly. I'm sorry. But this is just checking to see if you're shooting. And if you are shooting, then it shoots. And akimbo. These are the consumables. I guess it would make sense to move everything like to the right place. I used to make a melee like range weapon, but with a range of 1.2 meters. I don't know what that means. And here's the enemy stuff, which is a little bit better, but the thing is, I have no frame of reference if this is how you're supposed to be doing things, because for the most part, the game's running pretty good. There is, whenever I load it up, there is always, just once, but there's always like a half second to 2 second like stutter at the beginning. And I think a lot of it contributes to probably how much is going on in the player code or blueprint. I mean that all weapons in game use raycast, but melee weapons have much shorter distance range. Hmm. I use Here's the melee collision. I just use like a collider that spawns for, I think, literally 1 frame. No, it spawns for 0.2 seconds for some reason. It could just be 1 frame though. There they are. Yeah, it still works. This is a nightmare too. Look at this. But I can simplify this because I think I did waste time making like the parry system and the blocking system and like the stealth kills. Because I liked making those, but they're not that fun. As fast paced as this game is, you know. Because I also made the melee weapons do more damage. Like the two-handed weapons, insta-kill. The one-handed weapons are 2 hits, and then your fists are 3 hits. So since enemies die faster, it just doesn't really make sense to have such a complicated enemy response to the melee. So a lot of this can go like this tells them to block. This one, if they don't see the player, they would have been stealth killed, but I removed that. And then this is just the player taking damage, so it could be something as simple as this. And this just checks if they're not rolling, then they take damage. And I don't know if this is a good idea or not, because it's kind of hard to tell since the numbers are so small. But whenever you do or take damage, I wanted it to be a little lenient in the damage. Like there's no hard set, like you take 30 damage every time you get hit by a melee weapon. Like maybe you take 25 or 35 because it adds a random integer to it. Because sometimes that allows you to like get away with maybe like 3 health left, which could feel pretty good to get away from. And then these are the doors for when you kick them. That's what this bowl is. Get rid of that. So a lot of this I can get rid of. Too many wires, man. Why am I not using that? There's a cat under my desk right now. Kitty reveal one. Alright, check the Discord in a sec. There you go. What is this? Yeah. Get rid of you. Oh shit, what was that? What the hell is this? This doesn't even... Oh, that's some old code. We can get rid of that, that feels good. The cat is trying to break into my wardrobe. And now he's staring at himself in the mirror. Everything breaks in 3, 2, 1. Yeah. You know how it is. Hi, XO. Modelo meter has refreshed. It is Saturday. Good time for a Modelo. Should get a web camera just for the cat. This, what is going on? Random integer in range, 0 or 2. If it equals 1, but both are going to that. So goodbye. Block hit. I don't want them to block anymore. There we go. There's our errors. And if I don't want them to parry anymore, I don't need that technically, but I'm gonna leave it because I don't want more things to break right now. There's 3 different ways they take damage here. So this is, they're not parried. If they can be parried, they take damage, they get parried, and then effect spawns. If they can't be parried, and they see the player, they take damage, and then effect spawns. If they can't be parried, and they can't see the player, they'll take damage, and they'll be aggroed, and then an effect will spawn. So we could get rid of all of this. And we can just do that. Pretty sick. this multiply by 5 thing was the damage if they didn't see the player. If they didn't see the player, the damage you dealt to them would be multiplied by 5, pretty much guaranteeing an instant kill. I think I'm going to do that again, because I don't want there to be an animation for stealth kills. That would just slow things down too much, I think. A little nicer. So if they're not getting parried anymore, then I could just check if they see the player. If they don't see the player, then they'll take a lot of damage. If they do see the player, then they will take damage. Like that. Sanest Unreal code. Okay, so it can be parried. We can get rid of that. If they're blocking, I don't think they ever block now because the thing that told them to block was here. We could also get rid of that and then just go straight to... We can get rid of this too because they're never going to be parried. And what's this? Can break blocking. If they're not blocking and the player doesn't attack, that can break a block. If that's true, they'll be knocked back. Alright, so if you kick them, if you do that kick move, they'll be pushed back. And I think I still want to keep that. In case you're getting swarmed, you can just do a kick, push some of them back. But since they're not going to ever block, we could just get rid of that and put that there. And this, nothing even goes here, so we can get rid of this. Okay, that's looking better. Needs to go there. Already hit. Let's see where that is. Heck. Okay, I only set it there to false. What is this? This is their melee attack. You know, I'll be honest, I do miss writing out code, but I don't know. I don't want to write in C++. So I don't think this bowl even matters. And this is the noise emitter. So if you punch somebody, it'll make a noise. Alright, and this checks to make sure that it's not the enemies so they can't punch themselves or each other. Okay, I'm just gonna remove this then. We can test it out. Make these guys melee. Get a few of them. Probably shouldn't have done that with a insta-kill weapon, but okay, that guy got knocked back really hard. And then they don't move after they get knocked back. Unless you go in range of them. They're committed, man. Alright, I think that's a lot better for the melee. Now one of my problems is the enemies, I knock them back with the kick and then they wouldn't move, and normally I would just be like, I'll fix that later, but I guess I should fix that now. Let's actually, you know what? Let's get the bisexual debug info going. Right. Okay, so the action stays at the knocked back thing. Oh, I know. It's the same thing for the stagger. What would happen is they would get staggered. They would stop moving, they'd play an animation, and then after that they wouldn't know to still chase the player. So then I just had to check if... It seems like a lot. I can get rid of the blocking because they're not going to block. The melee, I think that's important. Parried. And get rid of that too. And attacking, they're not going to be attacking right after they get staggered, so I could literally just check for these two. Hotline Miami type code. I don't know, it was Hotline Miami was Game Maker, right? Yeah. I don't know anything about Game Maker. I just know that and 7.0. I know that, and if you guys know Endless Monday, I think that was also in Game Maker. It's a very different game from Hotline Miami though. They get knocked back, a timeline plays, so they stay knocked back, and then when that's over, what if I just... Okay, well this is for both melee and ranged enemies. We can get rid of the blocking. And here we can get rid of the parried. And we can just check for this again. There we go. Okay, we fixed the bug. I also wonder if I should make it that the enemies move when they attack. At least the melee ones, I mean. Because right now they just stop, and I think it would be... It'd make more sense for them to move. I don't know, there's a lot of nuance to this. That movement, yeah, that's good. Let's skip over that right now. Okay, they still stop. Slowing them by half? Yeah, that might be a good idea. Oh, they stopped their movement here too. Okay, they are also sliding around. Like, this is the animation blueprint for these guys. So in their run state, they should have... They should be blending like the upper body thing and then the lower body. I don't know why they're sliding around like that. Unless it's something in here. Oh, we can clean these up too. Buried, blocking. Melee is not attacking. Oh, I think I know why. They have special animations for their attacks, which I think is technically Stacy's animations. I don't know what I named them though. These I should also get through, like go through and remove all the ones I don't use. Melee T? No. Melee underscore T? Here it is. Up into idle. Here's the other one. But no, I'm looking for the montages. Weapon 2. Yeah, if this is upper body slot. And then swing T. Upper body. Now they shouldn't slide around like that. Yeah, there we go. This still needs a lot of work. I think it's coming along though. Okay, now that I've made significant changes to the melee enemies, I should go through some levels and see how it feels. Because it's always good to test a lot. That is the wrong map. Repairing 122 shaders. This is why we hate Unreal. Like, you needed over 100 shaders to get this scene going? I don't get it, man. Whatever. I can't attack. Weird. Now I can't move. There we go. Okay. So there's some new bugs. Where's audio? Sorry, it's probably pretty quiet. Gonna be a day without new issues. That's so true. That's truth and real. I don't have the strength to say it like he does in that movie. Oh my god. You see, things like that, I wonder if I should make it so if there's like 10 enemies chasing you, a few of them go back to just patrolling or whatever, so you don't really get overwhelmed as much. But I also don't want the game to be too easy, I guess. Let me try the other map. You also might have noticed the doors sometimes open the wrong way when you kick them. Like that. Can't attack again. Whoa. Hmm. Ran out of bullets in the melee weapon? Maybe. If I remember correctly, that melee weapons used to have 30 bullets. They still do, technically. Well, not technically, they do, but I just need to hide that from the UI. They still do, yeah. There's no escape. They don't use any bullets though when you swing them. I think what's happening is when I roll and pick up a melee weapon, when I get back up from the roll, it's not letting me attack, so we can test that. No? Okay, now I can attack, but I should have the debug info on. They break? Yep. I think it's something where when you roll, you can't attack. So when you get back up from the roll, for some reason, it's still not letting you attack. Yeah, I can attack. I do have the weapon though, the hammer. I still can't attack with it. But I can attack with that. Let me pick it up again. Still can't attack with it. That's interesting. So it's based not on the player, is it based on the weapon? Yeah, I can't attack with that. Huh. Now I can't attack with the fire axe. Huh. If you shoot with the shotgun, then holster it, and then unholster it really quick before you pump, you don't lose that cartridge. So that's another thing I gotta fix. Um, that's very strange. I'm trying to think about how that how this problem is even happening. So I should also print out if the player can attack or not. So here's the wall of debug info. And we'll do it here. Tech discovery. So ammo decreases is binded to animation. No, well, yes, for the shotguns it is. Or for anything you have to pump, which is right now is just that one shotgun and probably is only going to be that one shotgun. So when she reaches a certain point in the animation, it ejects the shell and then decreases the ammo. But what I should do is, I guess I should make it so that you can't holster unless you finish the pump animation. That's probably the easiest way to go about that. And then I don't know why I duplicated that. Can attack L. Just get can. That's not even a bull I have. What am I doing? How do I check if... Huh. I may have just outed myself as being kind of dumb. Quick melee. The hand-to-hand. So if the melee is, the input is triggered, this is the combo, and then it resets. But in here, we do a bunch of checks. If you're not stomping, and if you're not punching, I wonder if I should just have a bowl that's like a universal, can you attack or not? Because right now I think it's jumping through a lot of hoops, like a lot of certain requirements that aren't necessarily the best way to check if you can attack. Like here, for some reason I set it up so that all the melee stuff goes off a bowl called punching. And if you're not punching and you attack with a melee weapon, then it says you are punching. Where the hell am I? There we go. Yeah, so the punching bowl is used for all of the melee attacks. So if I... Sorry, I'm thinking. I guess I'll just print out the is punching. Then we'll see if that's the problem. Okay, that one still works. So does that one. This one doesn't. And you're not punching, so... This one broke too. Hmm. That hammer go. Alright, now I can't attack with a katana. Let's see what, when you roll, what that says. Not there. When you roll, if you can roll and your stamina is greater than 30, then you ignore the bullets. I should make it so you ignore the melee too. Stamina can recover is false. Can shoot is false. Can roll is false. Decrement the stamina by 30. Update the stamina bar. Sequence. The first thing goes here. Do once. If you're moving forward, back, left, or right. And if the locomotion angle is less than the absolute. So this is roll forward. But it's just setting the camera focused. Which pretty much means the Stacy's model won't turn like in the middle of doing the animation. Same for that one. This last one is when you're standing still, you do like the quick jump back. And then at the end of all these rolls, you can roll again, the camera's not focused, you can shoot. And then you can get hit by bullets again. Let's see if that bug is happening with the weapons, or the guns. No, those seem fine. I think I know what triggers it. I don't think it's the roll exactly. I think it's when you roll and then you click while you're rolling and you pick it up. Because I didn't click there and that works. And then I was spamming the mouse when I rolled there and it doesn't work. So for some reason, when you're rolling, I think the melee is not checking if you're rolling. Like the melee trigger. Yeah, right here. So if we add a can probably shorten this a little bit. Is rolling, or can roll, I mean. If you can roll and if you are not stomping, whoops, and if you are not punching, you throw all these into an and. This is so Sigma. Thank you, Pi. I had a customer the other day that had an order under, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Maeve? Maeve? But it was kind of funny. So if you can roll and if you can roll and you're not stomping and you're not punching, then allow that to go through. Just woke up. So we did pre-hand to hand, we'll do pre-melee 1, which is the one-handed weapons. Check for all these. I guess I could put these into like a macro, but maybe I'll do that later. I have no idea what I'm looking at, but it looks smart. Game dev is like wizardry to me. You know, when I was like in middle school, I guess I thought like, I don't know how games get made. I think they just like appear. And then during COVID, when I got into game dev, I was like, wow, there's like real guys making this stuff. And now here I am. And now I don't really play games anymore. Not as much as I used to, at least. It's wizardry to all of us. I think it's like, you know, all kinds of different creative outlets is that anybody can do it. There is a way. It just takes a lot of time. You just need that commitment. It's basic stuff. That's true. It is all just ones and zeros. Alright, so now we're checking if you can roll. Let's see if this works. No, it still breaks. Okay, now I can't even swing it normally. So I broke it even more. Is this logic right? If you can roll and you're not stomping and you're not punching, if those are all true, why does this set can move? I think the ultimate point of game dev is to confuse yourself. Because I don't know why that's not working and why that is set. Oh, okay. Just if that might have something to do with it. If the camera is not focused, which pretty much means you have control of the player. Wait a minute. Okay, so now when it breaks for everything instead of just an individual weapon. Hmm. You know what? Let's see if it's the camera focus thing. If it's that one bowl that's messing everything up. Okay, don't check that. Don't check that. Okay, it is still broken. I have not made any progress on it. I might just have to strip down some more of this code, which I probably should do anyway, because I don't think you're ever going to be stomping because you don't parry anymore. And I wonder why I make it so that you can move after you punch. That might have just been brought over since the quick melee, the kick, I make it so you can't move for a little bit and then you can move afterwards. But with every other kind of melee attack, you can always move while you're doing it. But I do need to go soon, so I think this was good though. I got to show off some new levels and stripped down some of the old code, got rid of a bunch of it, and fixed. I forget what bug I fixed, but oh, it was after the enemies. Sometimes after the enemies, the melee ones got hit, they would not move, and now they do. So yeah, so this was fun. Probably do this again at some point. But goodbye for today.